Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Songs from the Shed on the 19th of October. A bit chilly outside, but all toasty and warm here inside. Got all the lights blazing, got a few heaters on as well. So I hope you've made yourself comfortable and you've got something to drink on the side. And let's see who we've got. Oh, some early comers. We've got Judy Lawton. That was very early for you, Judy, isn't it? Yeah, she's very on the ball tonight. And Rob Wilkinson is with us as well. Rob, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you, mate. And last week's guest can't keep away. It's Mr. Will on guitar, of course, and a bit of Simon Garfunkel. It's actually recorded by Art Garfunkel. It's actually a Jimmy Webb song. He of MacArthur Park and all the rest of it. Anyway, I hope you're all feeling well. Maybe needs to turn up a bit. That's it. What we're going to do? We're going to do a John Legend piece now. This is called All of Me. They don't write them like that, says Sue Panton. And good evening to you. Any more? Yeah, quite right. Nat King Cole, of course, When I Fall in Love. And always remembering the fantastic Gordon Jenkins arrangement on that record, which is really as much a star of the show as Nat's voice on that. And Gary Copeland is with us, my old boss, Gary Copeland. Hello, old horse. Thank you very much for dropping by, guys. I hope you're well and staying safe over in Stafford. And, right, what else have we got? We're going to do a bit of Lionel Richie, I think. Just get Gary off the screen. Bit of Lionel Richie. Ah, so yeah, it was. It was. I was trying to remember who had requested that a few weeks ago, and it was Sue Birch. Good evening to you, Sue. Hope you are well. Uh, Getting there. Okay, so you haven't been pretty. Take it you've not been totally on the spot, so it's good to see you back. And yeah, Will, yeah, Song for My Father. They just basically just pinched it, that riff. I can't remember now how that song goes, Song for My Father, but yeah, well, it's actually, and they just loved it, and they just pinched it wholesale for Ricky Don't Lose That Number. Anyway, glad to have fielded a request and have identified it with who actually requested it. Anybody else crept on? I think we were just talking amongst ourselves. But anyway, I hope you are enjoying it. And I'm going to take you back a few years now to something from the 50s, I think. From well, it was recorded famously by Mantovani. I'm just going to play Mantovani after Steely Dan. Let's all just let that sink in for a moment. But music is music, isn't it? I think music is music. And yeah, I'm going to do this one from the 50s, and then a 60s one, which you will certainly know. And this one is by a composer by the wonderful name of Ronald Binge, Binge, which is a very good name if you're in a lockdown at the moment. And his music is heard every evening on Radio 4 because he was a composer of Sailing By, you know. Perhaps do that one time. But anyway, this is a piece of his. It's a piece of light music, and it's called Elizabethan Serenade. from the brilliant pen of Tony Hatch and Jackie Trent, of course, local lass as well. And Downtown, big hit for Petula Clark. And as I said the other week, Tony Hatch is possibly the most disgracefully overlooked songwriter from the UK of all time currently. Just a huge kind. When you start looking back at his back catalogue and the things he's written for TV, for adverts, everything. He's like pervaded most of the 60s and 70s with his music, and really doesn't get any recognition. You put a picture of Tony Hatch in front of anybody, probably wouldn't pick him out. Sad. Anyway, still going strong and recently honoured with an MBE, so well done, Tony. Or was it an OBE? I can't remember. Anyway, well done, Tony, whichever the way. You got it. Now then, another underrated composer is a guy called Maurice White, who very sadly left us. I don't know whether it was last year or the year before. And he was the powerhouse behind, or one of the powerhouses at least, behind the band Earth, Wind and Fire. This is one of my enduring favourites from their back catalogue. Wonderful ballad. It's called After the Love Has Gone. From the pen of Graham Goulman and Eric Stewart, of course, Things We Do for Love, 10cc, and up on stage in French just in time. Hi from MK, and hello to MK from us up north, up in the far cold north. Adrian, hope you're well. And let's just rearrange. We're going back to Ronald Binge, and Vicky Titley says it reminds her of the days in the University Hospital Orchestra. Oh, you played that one, did you, Vicky? Yeah. You have to tell us what you played, because I don't know what instrument you play. And Judy says it takes her back to ballet classes. Judy posted a wonderful little picture of her in ballet, as a little girl in a ballet class, and you would still have picked her out in a parade. Her and Tony Hatch, you would have picked her out, yeah. And see, spoiling you, yeah. Well, you know, I like to keep things, you know, on an even keel, and hopefully entertain you all. That's the name of the game during lockdown. And when will it end? Who knows? Round and round the spinning wheel goes, and if we're very good, might get a day at Christmas, and then we'll have to isolate for about the next 9 months. That's the way it goes, apparently. Anyway, we will carry on, and hopefully by the time it sort of gets to back end of Christmas, maybe we might be talking about a vaccine. Who knows? But anyway, we will continue to meet here. I will still be here for you all the way through. Okay, I will still be here like a bad smell. So, just got to get used to me. Right, that was the Things We Do for Love. Last week, you may remember that we had a guy called Phil Gillam pop in. And Phil has just actually, I saw yesterday or the day before, has just completed his term as Mayor of Shrewsbury. But Phil and I used to work together as reporters on the Staffordshire newsletter back in the day. And we used to have a running joke about this next song. So I was hoping he was going to be on. If you're there, Phil, just shout up. But we have a running joke about a very obscure pop song. Well, it's not obscure, but it was sort of like, it was one of those that people of a certain age will remember. Anyway, I then spent, ironically, the next 3 years in a function band who played it every damn night, so I know it quite well. This is called Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes. From the pen of Roger Cook and Roger Greenaway, another prolific songwriting team from the 70s, responsible for all sorts of rubbish, but some decent songs as well. That was Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes, originally recorded by a band called Edison Lighthouse, who were totally fictitious. But the singer on that was a guy called Tony Burrows, and he has the distinction of being the only person to have sung on 3 different songs on the same Top of the Pops, because he was a session singer. He was fronting all these projects, which really were just just hatched in the studios, and then they made up a band to market them. And that one was one. And Love Grows Where My Rosemary Grows, Edison Lighthouse. He was with the original Brotherhood of Man. That's before the Save You Kisses for Me era. They had a song called United We Stand, I think it was called. Can't sing it for you. I can't remember how that one goes. But he was on the lead vocal of that. And then he was also, I think, on the lead vocal of, do you remember that sort of novelty song called Gimme Dat Ding? And he was one of the singers on that. And Roger Cook, I think, was the other person. Or it could have been Roger Greenway. I think it was Roger Greenway was the high voice. He was the low voice. That's right. That sort of thing. Go look them up if you're really interested. But yeah, that's Tony Burrows, a very well-known session musician who not many people know about. Good one for a pub quiz, just saying. Right, I'm clashing some wonderful things together tonight. Here's another one. Sheer Boredom Sue. Kurt Cobain, and Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. I don't know if any of you are fans of the great John Shuttleworth, aka Graham Fellows. He does a song called "Smells Like White Spirit," which is great. Very worth checking out. Yeah, Sue Panton wants to know how I know all this rubbish. I think it's just kind of head I've got, Sue. I used to sort of gather facts obsessively. Also, having been a sub-editor helps because you're supposed to be omnipotent about things. You know, like know what the capital of Guam is and things like that. Most of it I've forgotten, of course, now. Now I no longer have daily use for it. So I couldn't tell you. I used to be able to tell you who was in the cabinet at any one time and who was in really obscure under-secretary positions, because every time cabinet changed, Daily Telegraph used to have this chart of who was who, which we used to all study intently and had to know when we were all backbench subs back in the day. Guys will remember all that sort of stuff. And Victoria says that she really likes Tori Amos's version of that number, and it's very Very strange you should mention that, Victoria, because here is another Tori Amos song. This is called Cloud on My Tongue. And get the right camera angle. That is better. And Adrian has more news for us about Tony Burrows. Yes, he was in the White Plains. Yes, When You Are a King, My Baby Loves Loving, and yeah, that was another one of Tony Burrows' stuff. And he was also in a band called the Flower Pot Men, who had that hit "Let's Go to San Francisco." Remember that? And actually, the Flower Pot Men were really just a repurposed version of the Ivy League. Do you remember the Ivy League? Funny how love can be. 1960s, and so they were sort of waning in popularity. So they came up with this idea to repackage them in this Flower Power, San Francisco stuff that was coming out of America. And so it was a blatant attempt to capitalize on it, and it actually worked. At least it had a bit of a hit over here. I don't know if it's ever hit anywhere else, but yeah, the Flower Pot Man. Let's go to San Francisco. So Tony Burrows had a finger in many, 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 many pies. Right, how are we doing for time? Yeah, okay. I did I did put a banner on saying there'd be some Genesis, so I better do some Genesis. And this is from the album Trick of a Tale, and I've done this before, but I still like to play it. It's called Ripples. Oh, blimey, Governor. Bit of the old Chaz and Dave. Ain't no pleasing you. And Vicky said, was it in... Was it in the film Billy Elliot? I can't remember it being Billy Elliot, but it probably was. It was probably used in the background. Anyway, that's where Vicky knows it from. So yeah, I promised you a bit of Chaz and Dave, and we really are mashing it up, aren't we, tonight with the with the bit and bobs. Adrian French says, "How about a bit of Gilbert O'Sullivan?" Yeah, another very underrated songwriter, I feel, Adrian. I will dig something out for next time. Certainly, yeah, definitely. Love a bit of Gilbert. Very sort of good at words. Yeah, his lyrics are pretty sort of a bit out of the ordinary, aren't they? And a great songwriter. Okay, we're getting on towards this conclusion. So let me just check that I've got something right here. So, I don't know. Yeah, I've got something weird happening with my things. Okay, I'm just going to leave it off because that's not working. Something is wrong. Who would have thought that something was going wrong with my piano? It's operator error. It's not the piano. Don't worry. Anyway, I need to tell you that before we meet again next Thursday, somebody with us tonight will have cleared a big birthday landmark on, I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, 19th. Yeah, it was Tuesday. Next Tuesday, Vicky is passing a birthday, which I won't divulge, but it's got an O in front of it. Not in front of it. You wish, didn't you? Eh? Got an O behind it, and yeah. But she is. So you might just all want to use the comments now to wish her a happy birthday, and I want to play something for her, because the truth is, being serious for a moment. If it wasn't for Vicky, you wouldn't be seeing me on camera tonight. You wouldn't have been seeing me in the rehearsals at UHC. You wouldn't have been seeing me at the organ at St Giles. You wouldn't have been seeing me out on the road with Both Sides Now. You wouldn't have been seeing me going to play for weddings at the Savoy, at the Dorchester, at Blenheim Palace, goodness knows where. All those things I've done, and I look back at them and you must realise that it's all down to Vicky, because I was in a rut when we met. Musically, I hadn't done anything for years, and I was really frustrated about it. And Vicky is a great enabler, and she encouraged me to just go for it. She encouraged me to go freelance. She encouraged me to build this office here, and green-lighted it all. And it is incredible that I owe so much so to such a beautiful woman. And I love you very much, darling. I think I better play something before I break down in tears. Happy birthday. We're a bit cut up because we were supposed to be going away this weekend, but obviously a certain lockdown has put pay to that. But anyway, Vicky is still going to have a lovely birthday on Tuesday. We will all see to that, I'm sure. And yeah, this one's for you, darling. This is one of the most beautiful songs I know, and one of the simplest songs I know as well. Thank you very much for joining us. We're a little bit past the half past, but there's still one tune to go, so don't just tune out just yet. And I thought we'd end with this one. I heard the version the other day for the first time for a long time of the version of this song without all of Phil Spector's strings and choirs all over it. And it struck me just what a much superior take it was, and should have been on the original album like that. And Paul McCartney obviously thought so as well. Thank you very much for being along with us. We'll be here again, usual time, usual place. See you then. Victoria will be a year older. I'll still be behind her because I'm the toy boy, you know. Anyway, this is won't need any introduction, but thank you very much for being with us, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.